Jesus answers my question, where were you when I was sexually abused? The problem of evil. This consideration was sparked originally by my commenting on the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verses 35 to 41, where Jesus fell asleep on a cushion in the stern of Simon and Andrew's fishing boat amid a storm on Lake Galilee. Jesus appeared to be oblivious to the danger his disciples were facing. Thence their question, Lord, did you not care about us? This prompted me to broach the problem of evil which arises in the mind when we are threatened by storms, hurricanes, earthquakes, and natural disasters. But it seems the greatest threat to our belief and confidence in God rears up when other human beings torture, kill, and abuse their fellow humans. One of the greatest scourges that we are becoming now aware of is sexual abuse of minors and the vulnerable. For 30 years, I have sympathized with the plight of those fellow Legionary of Christ seminarians who were mercilessly sexually abused by the founder, the Reverend Father Marcial Maciel. He was never punished for his abuse, for his crimes, neither by the church nor by the state, and died unrepentant in luxury and comfort. For 30 years, I have wanted to give an English language voice to the Spanish-speaking victim's pain that cries out to heaven and to Catholic Church authorities. But why does God allow these things to happen? Why doesn't Jesus, our Savior, protect his people, his little ones, especially when they are in such danger and when such terrible things happen to them? That is why I challenged Jesus provocatively. Where were you, Jesus, when I was being sexually abused? I use the I to emphasize, to personify the abuse of my fellow legionaries now in their 80s. They're survivors of the survivors. It seems that the Legion authorities are waiting for them to die off to definitively wash their hands of that ugly scar, of that blood. Besides scandalizing and waking up some pious Catholics, my question was not meant to be simply rhetorical. I waited for an answer, and that's why I took a couple of weeks. I wanted to listen to see if I could hear, if I could hear Jesus' response. It might go something like this. I was in Gethsemane, in the garden of the winepress, where I liked to go to pray, to be alone with my Father, Abba. What your victims, friends, experienced was unadulterated evil, human malice, injustice, cruelty, and abuse. The problem of evil that has dogged thinking people, especially the believer, forever and ever, and to which the first chapters of the Torah, Genesis 1 to 3, try to give an answer. How did that evil enter into the world? But putting it in simple layman's terms, in psychological terms, perhaps, sometimes a human being makes selfish choices or acts impulsively, and this causes disasters. Where was I during your brother's abuse? I was in the Garden of Olives, sweating blood to accompany them and expiate this abomination. To be continued.